The good thing about stand-up comedy is that you can talk about anything. Religion, politics, philosophy. So tonight I'm going to talk about Putin's geopolitical strategy and its impact on global security. Nah, not really. I'm going to talk about haircuts. Because it's obviously a subject I'm highly qualified to talk about. When men need haircuts, what are the factors that they take into consideration when choosing a hairdresser? Anybody? The price and nothing else. And then when we go to the hairdresser, we have absolutely no idea what to ask for. So what do? We show a photo of ourselves with a haircut we quite liked. Where else would you do that? You wouldn't go to a restaurant and show them a picture of a meal you'd previously enjoyed. When the haircut's finished, we always react in the same way. Yeah? Very good. Thank you. Even though sometimes we're probably thinking, what the fuck? It looks like my hair's been cut by a blind 4-year-old with attention deficit disorder, using a knife and fork. I suppose that's what you get when you pay €3.20 for a haircut. Men have a similar attitude to clothes. When we buy clothes, we ask ourselves 2 questions. 1, will it cost more than a night in the pub? And 2, will it make me look like a dick? So, oh yeah. Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, is basically this pretty liberal Jewish guy who used to be an actor and comedian. So Putin attacking him is the equivalent of the Mountain from Game of Thrones having a fist fight with Woody Allen. It's a crazy, crazy situation. And it makes me look back fondly on the good old days when all we had to worry about was dying from COVID. So, who here had COVID? Yeah! Yay! I had COVID, and I had to stay at home for a week, and I was really tired and I had no energy. Not because of COVID, it's because I got a child at home. But there are some bizarre theories about COVID. One Indian guru claimed that COVID can be cured with cattle feces. Now that is quite literally bullshit. Another theory is that the COVID vaccine can give you enormous testicles. Now, the only time that could possibly be a disadvantage is if you're a woman. But I'd like to see someone use their enormous testes as proof of their vaccine status. Excuse me, do you have your vaccine pass? Oh, no need. Okay, thank you, madam. And another theory is that the COVID vaccine makes you magnetic. Now, having somebody with enormous magnetic testicles, to me, that sounds like a fantastic superhero. I am Mr. Magnestical, and I shall disarm you, foul villain. Give me your gun and... Oh! All in a day's work for Mr. Magnestical. But if I had the choice between eradicating COVID and keeping Ed Sheeran, or eradicating Ed Sheeran, keeping COVID, I'd be stocking up on masks right now. There are some musicians whose music I don't really like, but I admire them as a person. For example, James Blunt was a NATO soldier in Kosovo, and apparently he even strapped his guitar to his tank. Now, I wish I could say the same thing about Ed Sheeran. But James Blunt has strapped Ed Sheeran to his tank in Kosovo. But Ed Sheeran actually has a remarkable ability. He's one of the few people in the world with the unique ability to make Coldplay look good. So, are there any French people here tonight? Yeah! Yay! Now, I love living in France. The only problem about living in France is having to speak French. It's a wonderful language and entirely impossible for non-French people to pronounce. Especially the letter R. I mean, come on. The back of the throat should not be used for anything apart from blowjobs. I reckon the French actually invented the ridiculous R sound just to piss off foreigners. You can't even say to piss off foreigners in French without the ridiculous R sound. Emmerder les étrangers. See, it doesn't work. A few centuries ago, there were 2 French guys sitting down having a conversation. So, Jean-Baptiste, what if by some miracle a foreigner manages to speak French without an accent? Jean-Michel, we both know that will never happen. But, just to be sure, we could invent a ridiculous new sound. Air. Good idea, Jean-Baptiste. But what if, by some miracle, a foreigner manages to pronounce this letter correctly? What can we then do to make the foreigners look stupid and incapable of speaking French? Looks like we will have to invent the subjunctive. Meanwhile, over in Britain, two guys were having a similar conversation. Oh, damn it, Thomas, it looks like the French have a ridiculous new letter. What can we do to get our revenge? Well, Wilfred, maybe we could invent our own sound that will be impossible for foreigners to pronounce. And we'll put it in nearly all of our words. That's a thoroughly good thought, Thomas. Meanwhile, over in Germany... Don't worry, this is the last one of these that I've got. Meanwhile, over in Germany, two guys were probably having a similar conversation. Ach, Wilhelm, what can we do to get our revenge against the British and the French? Yeah, I know I'm bad at accents, okay? What can we do to get our revenge against the British and the French? We could have words that are 72 letters long! Do you know that the German for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is one word? Aufmerksamkeitsdefizit-Hyperaktivitätsstörung. Imagine trying to tell someone you have this disorder. Ja, ich habe Aufmerksamkeit. Oh, ein Schmetterling! I forget what we were talking about. But I actually reckon that's what caused World War II. Germany needed extra space just for their enormous Scrabble books.